Hello friends, welcome to our channel Sukun FM English. Now we are listen today episode number 21. If you enjoy the story, please like, share and comment in comment section. If you visit first time on the channel, please subscribe and press the bell icon also. Now let's begin the story. Samar raised his eyebrows and said, "It's okay, thank God you remember now. Then let's get a divorce now." Wasn't the girl being too smart? She can't be that forgetful. If she was that forgetful, how would she handle such a big business? She would be pretending to forget. Regardless of whether Kiara had really forgotten or was pretending to forget, Summer still had to remind her. Finally, Kiara remembered and said, "Hmm, okay, wait a little while. I will bring the marriage certificate, residence proof, and ID proof." Saying this, she turned and stumped her feet towards the second floor. All these things were necessary for a divorce. After a minute, Kiara came back downstairs with a sad face and softly said, "I can't find out marriage certificate. Probably dropped in a hurry when we were attacked yesterday." Summer shook his head and said worriedly, "So what do we now? Without the marriage certificate, how will we get a divorce?" The marriage certificate was the most important thing for a divorce. It was the only proof that proved that they were married. And how could they get a divorce until they proved that they were married? When Kiara saw his worried face, she felt like laughed, but she stopped her laughter and said, "So let's not get divorced for now until we get the marriage certificate." Summer also said that. "Okay, what else can we do?" Hearing him, Kiara smiled and said, "You can, as I am going to the office, you should also go to the office in a while. But remember one thing, do not tell anyone about our relationship right now." Kiara's beautiful eyes showed a glimpse of innocence as she came out. Actually, the marriage certificate was in the room on the second floor, but Kiara had hidden it. She didn't not want to get a divorce now. Poor Summer. He kept fooling people all his life, and today he was fooled by a girl. He said a little sadly, "Ah, without a marriage certificate, even a divorce cannot happen now. Yar, what should I do now?" Summer sighed. He was very sad. He will have to face this feelingless girl again. He said to himself, "Let's go now. What is the use of thinking about it? I should go to the office right now." He looked at the bright sunshine outside and decided to go to the office. To be honest, even if he get divorced, he could not live indoor easily. Now that the three kings of the world have come to India, and Kiara was his wife, if he left after the divorce, they would probably kill Kiara behind his back. Before killing the three kings, he had decided to live with Kiara temporarily so that he could save her easily. When Samar wore his old jacket and come out of the villa, he saw that all the guards at the gate were looking at him strangely and were constantly discussing. Nepania Palace was the most high-ended society in Indore. There were all villas built in European style. All the peoples living here were famous or rich peoples. All the billionaires of the Indore live in the society. All these famous peoples were branded clothes like Playboy, Versace, and Chanel. Their cost were more than Summer's 1 year salary. Those who didn't wear clothes bought from the sales like Summer. He was the first and only person to walk through there in such clothes. At a glance, everyone could tell that he was poor. So naturally, they didn't need to be nice to him. He was very lazy and didn't care what the guards thought. For him, money was just a count. If he wanted money, he could go on any kind of missions and earn crores of rupees in one go. He was really that lazy. Half an hour later, Samar reached Agarwal Industry in the hot sun. He could clearly see the luxurious building of Agarwal Industry, more than 20 floors high, even from a distance. Kiara used to sit on the best floor of this luxurious building, the third floor. And everyone knew she was the most powerful person in Kiara Agarwal Industry. She was at the top of the business world. Although Summer was not interested in Kiara, he had to admit that she was very good at business. The fact that the company was in a good such a shape because of her proved that she was very efficient in business. Everyone in the business world gave her the tag of business queen. When Summer reached the door of the sales department, he heard a husky voice. Mr. Summer, why are you late to the office today? He turned around and saw that the person speaking was a pretty girl. The girl was wearing a blue dress. Her face was attractive, her teeth was shining, and her eyes were deep like a lake. This pretty girl was none other Prachi. Summer said to Prachi in a slightly funny way. Hey Prachi, just pretend that you have not seen me. Prachi's face remained attractive and she angrily explained to Summer. Mr. Summer, it's only been 3 days since you joined the company and you have already started coming late. This is wrong. Yesterday he was playing games during office hours and today he come late, which made her very angry. She was an old employee of this company who used to do her work with full honesty. Last month she was given the best employee award of the sales department. She hated people who were lazy and come late to duty. If it was someone else who come late, she would have already reported him to her seniors. But this was Samar. Even though she was still angry, she decided to give him another chance. Seeing Prachi's angry pink face, Samar smiled a little. He thought she was very sweet and really honest towards her job. Seeing that his wife company has good employees like her, he considered his wife lucky. On seeing him smile like this, Prachi said angrily, you are still laughing. You have come late. Still you are laughing. Samar listened to her and said seriously, okay, Prachi, don't get angry. I will not laugh anymore. Prachi said smilingly, I will not tell anyone this time, but be careful from next time. Samar also nodded and said, thank you, Prachi. I will take care of this from now. Samar thanked her. He thought this cute girl was really cute. Prachi smiled charmingly and said, hurry up, go to your desk now and started your work. Otherwise, if someone sees you coming late, it will be very bad for you. Samar said, understood. Saying this, he turned and went to the sales department. Seeing how Samar was entering the sales department like a thief, Prachi smiled with his laughter. It seems as if hundreds of flowers had suddenly bloomed. Bring and beautiful, the whole corridor lit up with that smile. Then suddenly someone's voice come from behind. Prachi, come to my office. Prachi turned around and her facial expressions changed instantly. The person calling her to the office was Pranav. Pranav was the manager of the sales department and she was a regular employee of the sales department. She had no choice but to obey Pranav and go to his office. So she did not anything and quickly went to his office. As soon as he went inside the office, Pranav closed the door and window and looked at Prachi from head to toe. His eyes were full of fire, such it seemed as if he would eat Prachi. Seeing the fire in Pranav's eyes, Prachi's charming face became alert. She looked down and didn't dare to look at him. This way he was looking at her was like a wolf looking at a little white rabbit. This scarred her. Pranav touched her hair and said with a smile, Prachi, I have a task for you. You have to complete it. Prachi tightened his soft hand and asked worriedly, Yes, sir, tell me, what is the work? She already felt that this was not going to be a good job. Ever since he rejected Pranav's proposal, he had started targeting her and always finding faults in her work. Sometimes he would say that her reports were not clear. Sometimes he would say that she was very lazy. Pranav's eyes were hot and he told her work loudly. Prachi, you go to recover the debt of 1 crore from Bakhtawar, the head of the Eagle gang. What? Prachi's red lips were slightly open. She said in shock, Recover the dues of 1 crore from the leader of Eagle gang? Her beautiful eyes were filled with disbelief. She felt as if she had heard wrongly. Did Pranav really want to recover a loan of 1 crore from the Eagle gang? This was madness. He could an innocent girl like Prachi deal with a monster like Bakhtawar. When Pranav saw that Prachi had not heard him properly, he repeated his words. Prachi, you have been working in the sales department for the last 1 month. After all, I am assuring that you will recover of the loan of 1 crore from Bakhtawar. On hearing Pranav's words, Prachi's beautiful face turned as white as paper. Her body started trembling with fear. The Eagle gang was very famous in Indore. They often used to create riots in the city and extort money from people in the name of protection money. The leader of this gang was had about jewelry worth 1 crore from the sales department about 6 months ago, but he had not paid for it till now. More than a dozen people from the sales department had gone to ask for money from him. Each time they had broken their limbs and returned without money. They had to spend month in the hospital. Since then, the people from the sales department never dared to approach him. Everyone had almost forgotten about the money. Pranav wanted Prachi to go collect the debt. It was clear that he was deliberately getting her into trouble. She was a simple weak girl. How would those goons listen to her? And anyway, the more beautiful she was, the more likely she was to get into trouble. Because of her beauty, those monsters would eat her life. Prachi's face turned pale. She argued with Pranav about his, saying, Manager Pranav, Eagle Gang is the den of the very dangerous and ruthless goons. I am a girl. How can I deal with those dangerous goons? Pranav finally showed his true colors and laughed misbehaviously and said, Prachi, you have two options. First, bring 1 crore rupee from the Eagle Gang, and second, become my girlfriend. I will protect you from everyone. No one in the sales department will be able to say anything to you from now. He had made this plan after carefully thought, so that Prajis agreed to become his girlfriend. He saw that Prajis' face had turned pale and she had become sad. So he said excitedly, Prachi, what is there to think so much about in this thing? While saying this, he thought to himself, You are very happy after rejecting my proposal. Right. You are valued that Samar more than me. Right. You told him that you are your boyfriend. Now I also want to see how he saved you. Prachi got very angry and, after hearing his word that this man was so shameless and shouted at him, You are very shameless. Even if I die, I will not become your girlfriend. Pranav had a weak expression on his face. His eyes were full of threats. He said to Prachi once again, I gave you 1 hour to think. Think about it carefully. Either become my girlfriend or go to get money from the Eagle gang. If you don't do any of these, then get ready to find a job somewhere else. Prachi shouted loudly after hearing this. You can do anything, but I will never accept your proposal. Saying this, she walked out of the office towards the sales department and sat on her desk next to Samar. Seeing Prachi's pale face, Samar asked worriedly, Prachi, what happened to you? Prachi looked as if someone had asked for her kidney. He remembered very well that Prachi was just talking to him and laughing. What happened in a few minutes that her face turned to so pale and his eyes filled with anger. From what Summer had come to know about Prachi, she was a curious and extremely optimistic girl. After hearing Summer's comforting word, Prachi tried to say something. Summer, I vow. She could no longer hold back her tears and started crying loudly. Her beautiful face was covered with tears. Agarwal Industry was a very big company in Indore. The company grew and sold a lot of products. Even a normal employee would get a salary of few thousands every month along with a good commission. Then an excellent employee like Prachi would make a lot of sales, which would take which would take her monthly income to over a lakh. She needed this job very much because her father was ill, and every month lakhs of rupees were spent on his treatment, and she managed at all the medical expenses and household expenses from her salary and commission. She could not lose her job, otherwise she would not have money left for further treatment. Prachi was extremely sad and helpless. Her head was now on Samar's shoulder. Her attractive face was covered with tears. Samar extended his finger to wipe the tears from her eyes and consoled her softly. Prachi, what happened? You tell me. I will definitely help you if I can. Prachi stopped crying after listening to Samar and was about to talk about Pranav's threat when she remembered that she was been here only for 3 days. Even if she tells him, he will not be able to do anything. Thinking this, she started crying again. Looking at her, Samar said firmly, Prachi, if you still considering me your friend, then tell me. Otherwise, I will think that you do not consider me your friend. Seeing how sad Prachi was, and how helpless and powerless she was feeling, he wanted to help her from the bottom of his heart. Prachi also saw the truth in Samar eyes. But she thinking, how can I express her words? What will do Prachi in the next? Stay tuned, listen, Sukoon FM English. If you enjoy the story, please like, comment and share the story. Hello friends, welcome to our channel Sukoon FM English. We are here to listen Secret Son-in-Law story. Shadow King is the most powerful story on this platform. Please, if you enjoy the story, subscribe our channel yet and please like and comment also. Today we listen episode number 22. Let's now begin. Prachi also saw the truth in Samar's eyes. So he started telling. Samar, that manager Pranav has given me two options. Either I become his girlfriend or take a loan from the company's Eagle gang. If I do not either of two, he will fire me from the job. Hearing about Pranav's act from Prachi's mouth, Samar's blood boiled. How could he threaten an innocent girl like this in a broad daylight? So he stood up from his palace in anger and said, How dare Pranav threaten you? Now no one will be able to save him from my hands. I will teach him a lesson right now. Prachi panicked, seeing him angry. She stopped Samar and said, Samar, don't do anything like that. If you mess with Pranav, he will fire you too. Prachi immediately stood up and pulled Samar back so that he doesn't actually either enter Pranav's office. Samar was afraid that Prachi might give in a Pranav. So he immediately consoled her and said, Prachi, Pranav is not a human being. He is an animal. You can't be afraid of him like this. You don't need to listen to him. He could not let a pig like Pranav ruin such a beautiful girl like this. Prachi nodded and said with determination, Summer, don't worry. Even if I die, I won't become Pranav's girlfriend. She had already decided that if Pranav fired from Agrawal industry, she would sell her blood and kidney. She will have to get money from somewhere to pay her father medical bills. Just then, Samar thought for a while and asked, Prachi, you said that if you get 1 crore rupee from Eagle Gang, then you will not have to become Pranav's girlfriend, and neither will be to able to fire you from the job, right? Prachi did not understand what Samar was planning to do. Still, she replied to Samar, Yes, Samar, but Eagle Gang is the biggest and most dangerous gang of the Indore. All the big gangsters of the city are members of that gang. It is not only difficult but impossible to extract money from them. Samar waved his hand and bravely said, Prachi, you come with me. I will help you in extracting money from Eagle Gang. Just then, Samar's words were heard to by the people present there and salesperson too. Hearing his words, everyone started laughing. That one of the laughed and said, Samar, you make a very good joke. Brother and sister, look what Samar Babu is saying that he will never recover money from the Eagle Gang. Hearing this, another said, I can be that he will not be able to extract a single rupee from them. Then the third one said, Absolutely. The person who last time and broken his hand, he is still in the hospital. Dozens of salespersons present inside the office were discussing. They were all making fun of Samar. They felt that no matter how what it did, he would not be able to extract money from the Eagle Gang. Not only those salesperson, Prachi also did not think that they would be able to extract money from Eagle Gang. Prachi said to Samar with some hesitation, Samar, we are only two. How can we go against those gangsters? Concern was clearly visible on her face. There were tens of gangsters in Eagle Gang. All them were brutal and many people beaten by them had reformed. Prachi was scared thinking about the power of Eagle Gang. Soon Samar said to her, Prachi, so do you want to become Pranav's girlfriend? Prachi immediately shook her head and said, No, I don't want that at all. Samar said to her with confidence. Then okay, if you don't want to become Pranav's girlfriend, come with me and collect the debt of 1 crore. Trust me, they will definitely pay us the money. He was the Shadow King. It was very easy for him to extract money from them. If they didn't give him money, he will bash them badly and he will beat them until they return the money. Punches and kicks speak louder than words. Prachi furrowed her beautiful eyebrows and whispered, Samar, the Eagle Gang base is on the outside of Indore. How will we go there? The Eagle Gang base was an old haba on the outskirts of Indore. It was a remote and deserted area where no bus reached. Even the cab drivers were afraid of those gangsters and he did not go there. There were only two ways to go there, either by own vehicle or foot. Walking dozens of miles on foot were obviously not possible for both of them, and neither of them had a car. So it was a bit difficult for them to reach there. Then Samar's eyes suddenly lit up. He saw a bike at the company's gate. It was a regular bike which could take both of them comfortably. A fat man wearing a security guard dress was sitting near the bike and smoking. Obviously, he was the owner of the bike. Summer became happy after seeing this fat man. This fat man had a round face and small eyes. This was the fat man whom Summer had met during the interview. All that time, they were talking to each other. Summer come to fat man, patted him on the shoulder and said smilingly, "Hey brother, how are you? Did you recognize me?" The fat man also recognized Summer immediately. So he said smilingly, "Yes, brother, I remember very well. You come for the interview that day. Did you get the job?" His chubby face was full of surprise. Summer replied to him smilingly. "Yes, my name is Samar. Now I am the employee of the sales department. What is your name?" The fat man replied to Summer question. "My name is Rohan. I did not get a job in the sales department, but they took me as a security guard. I am now the security guard here." Summer tried to take the conversations forward smilingly. "This is also good. Now we both are collegians. Can you help me a little?" Rohan said yes without hesitation. "Yes, yes, tell me what is the matter. Will try my best to help you." Smiling, Samar said to Rohan, "I need a bike sometime. Can you give me your bike?" Rohan immediately took out the bike key from his pocket and handed it to Samar and said smilingly, "Take it. This is not a big deal. We met twice and our fate is bringing us together. Maybe this is why this is the bike key. You can take it anywhere without hesitation." Saying this, Rohan handed over a black key to Samar. He also had a good opinion about this young man. Both of them had a very good conversation on the day of recruitment in the sales department. Taking the key, Samar said to Rohan, "Thank you, brother. After I get free, we will have a dinner somewhere together while taking." Hearing this, Rohan also smiled. Samar took the keys set on the bike, removed the cross stand, and looking at Prachi said, "Prachi, come hold me properly and sit behind me." On hearing this, Prachi got on the bike and stretched out her fair little hands and held his waist. Her little face turned red like a tomato. Seeing Prachi's glowing face, that fat guy rubbed his small eyes with envy and asked Samar, "Wow, brother, what a thing! You got a girl as soon as you got a job in the sales department in the beauty, your girlfriend?" Smilingly tightly, Samar replied to Rohan, "No, no, she is my colleague as well as good friend, just like you." Prachi's face turned dark after listening to Samar's words. A lost feeling emerged in her eyes now when Summer said that she is not his girlfriend. She did not like this statement of Summer. On hearing Summer's words, Rohan pursed her lips. Disbelief was clearly visible on his face. He softly told Summer, "Okay, friend, look how sad this poor girl. Don't argue." Having his words, Summer realized that this fat man was a gossiper. He didn't give time to talk nonsense with them. Summer waved his hand and put his hand on the handlebar, turned to the key and started the bike and said, "Rohan, brother, I have some important work right now. I will tell you everything later." The bike let out an animalistic roar and sped out like a sharp arrow. Seeing such a beautiful girl with Summer, The fat man was jealous. He softly whispered, "This brother is very lucky. That girl is clearly interested in him." Thinking about himself, he felt very sad. Both of them had come to give an interview together at Agarwal Industry. Samar get a place in the sales department, full of beautiful girls, and he had go on the security department where there were only many men. He had very bad luck. He used to get very angry. If was compared to others, however, Samar was much more fit and handsome than him, which was his biggest quality. On the other hand, Samar was driving the bike very fast. Prachi sitting behind him held with waist tightly. Her pretty face turned red and she said to Samar, "Samar, drive slowly." But Samar was enjoying the bike and was very happy. He jokingly said to Prachi sitting behind him, "Prachi, I have no option. This is the lowest speed of the bike. I can't drive it slower like than this." In fact, this was the top speed of the bike, as the speed was very fast. Prachi was afraid that she would fall. She had Summer even tighter. She was clinging to him tightly. Summer was also driving so fast deliberately, so that he could take full advantage of her. The roads of Indore were very busy and crowded. However, Summer driving was so good that he was passing through the vehicles like lightning, which scarred the other driving again and again. They were shouting at him, abusing him. "Drive slowly. If you fall, no one should even get up. Brother, you will die himself and others too." But Summer did not bother to reply, nor was he in any mood to reduce his speed. He twisted the accelerator and drove even faster, which annoyed the drivers stuck in the traffic. He could drive every kind of vehicle. He was an expert in every kind of vehicles from bike to airplanes. Not to mention bikes. However, driving at this speed was considered very dangerous. Summer drivers turned pale with a fear at that Summer might hit them. Some drivers even took out their phones and called the police. At this time, Jia, wearing her police uniform, was sitting sadly in a traffic police car. Her pretty face was filled with anger. Yesterday, while investigating the death of the foreigner in an old neighborhood, she was some secret files in the police station and tried to find out about special statement department and contract killers. The dead man was a man of the skeleton league. He violated the rules of accessing banned files, so he was punished and sent to the traffic police. She could return to her police station only if she performed well in the traffic police. Ring ring, just when she was getting angry, her phone rang. Zia picked up the call looking dissatisfied and said, "This is Inspector Zia from Indore Traffic Police. Tell me, how can I be of service to you?" She did not like working like a traffic police constable at all. She was getting very angry. Her tone was also very harsh. A cab driver from the other end said, "Madam, a black bike is speeding on the Elijah Road and almost about to hit people. You come and see." The driver who had called the police was none other than one who had shouted at Summer. Zia replied, "Okay, I will come right now," and immediately hang up the phone, and she was very upset. And this speeding bike hit the line of the fire of her anger, giving her a chance to vent her anger. Zia turned the key, passed the accelerator, and turned the steering wheel. The car roared loudly and speed of the on the LIG road. The vehicles on the road quickly started giving away the police car. They did not have the courage to block this its way. In a moment, Gia police car arrived on the LIG road. She closed her eyes and looked carefully. A black bike was speeding on the road. The speed of the bike was very fast. This was clearly above the speed limit. If the bike rider lost his attention even a little, both the bike and the rider would be finished. She was thinking that the bike rider was very brave. He was either confident of his skills or he was crazy. Looking at the bike coming at a high speed, Jia said clearly, "You dare to break the rule in my area. Who will save you from my now?" At this moment, she had declared Samar, who was driving the bike, as crazy. Zia's face was charming. Her amazing legs pressed hard on the accelerator, and the bike ran towards the bike like a wild horse. Meanwhile, Samar's bike got even faster. He was leaving everyone behind at lightning speed. Even the crowded road could not stop the bike. He was moving on the road like a nimble snake. Jia shouted at the announced with her red lips. "Attention, bike riders ahead! You will have crossed the speed limit. Stop immediately." Summer was stunned for a moment. I whispered, "Oh, are you that traffic police?" From the rearview mirror, he saw a traffic police car coming behind him at a distance of about 50 meters. But when he was saw a girl sitting in the car, he was just stunned and almost jumped out of the seat. This girl was none other than Zia. You should know, Zia was an inspector of Indore police force. As soon as he saw Zia, he thought to himself, "What nonsense! How did she get into the traffic police?" This girl was so smart. The first time they met, she arrested Summer. The second time at the hotel, she wanted to beat him up. Thankfully, he was stronger and he escaped. Summer knew that nothing good would come out of the meeting this girl. Even though the girl was beautiful, she believed in talking with punches like kicks, not love. Summer felt like he had a screw loose in his brain. He was on his way to Shivdar Dhaba on the outskirts of the Indore to recover the company's 1 crore rupee from Bakhtawar. That head of the Eagle gang, he had no time to waste with this girl. Smiling softly, Summer said, "You will never be able to catch me." He twisted the accelerator harder with the right hand. The bike accelerated again and disappeared on the road like lightning. His driving skills was very good. Besides, the road was very crowded. Zia's car big. There was no way he could catch up with her bike. Zia Pretty's face turned angry, and when he saw the bike disappear, she hit her small pick and on the steering wheel in anguish, and she threw gritted teeth in anger. "Today you have escaped from my hands, but next time nobody will be able to save you from my hands." What will we do next, Zia? What will happen in the next episode? Stay tuned only on Sukun FM English. If you enjoy the story, please like, comment, and share the story. And if you not subscribe the channel, and if you visit the first time on the channel, please subscribe our channel Sukun FM English. Hello friends. Yesterday we saw how Samar with Prachi sitting behind him rode his bike at full speed to collect money from Bakhtawar. And soon the police were chasing after him. And now, welcome to episode 23. If you here for the first time, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And if you are enjoying the story, make sure to like, comment, and share. Let's begin today's episode 23. Zia's pretty face turned angry when she watched the bike disappear. She hit her small pink hand on the steering wheel in anguish and said through gritting teeth in anger, "Today you have escaped from my hands, but next time nobody will be able to save you from my hands." They were in the city. The roads were extremely crowded. There were already more than 10 cars parked in front of Chia. There was no way to her to catch the bike. She would only catch as it disappeared from her sight. Then she remembered something and took out her mobile and said, "You have angered me. Now I will catch you." Just took out her phone and dialed the number of the traffic police superintendent. As soon as she picked up the phone, a stern but worried voice came from the other side. "Officer Jia, tell me what happened now." He was the traffic police superintendent and was training with Jia in the police academy. They were very close, but today Jia had troubled him by calling him repeatedly. But he knew that even though Jia was now transferred to the traffic police team, she could come back to the police team anytime. Jia said in a cold voice, with her face turning red with anger. "SP Soro, can you help me check a black bike?" It was moving at a very high speed on the LIG road, due to which I could not catch it and it slipped out of my hands. When you track it, let me know and I will catch it myself. Soro also said in a soft voice. "Okay, I will track the location and send it to you." Saying this, he hung up the phone and started tracking the black bike mentioned by Jia. But he was a bit surprised. He could not understand what problem Jia had with this one bike. If it was not caught, then it was fine. What was such a big deal that the traffic police asked the SP to track the bike? But still, he tracked the bike and sent it to Jia. Jia opened the message and saw the location of the bike. But it had gone far away from her. Jia whispered in a cold voice, "Hub, I will not rest until I catch you." Saying this, she restarted the vehicle and moved quickly towards the bike. Prachi pointed towards an old board in front and said, "Samar, that Shivdar Dhaba is the base of the Eagle Gang." Her beautiful face had turned pale. Samar's bike turned his head forward and saw a small board ahead. This board was just 50 meters away from them. The entire land around it was barren and the road was rough and hollow. There was an old dhaba 10 meters behind the board. He stopped the bike in front of the dhaba and said to Prachi with a smile, "Prachi, let's go inside." Fear was visibly clear on the Prachi's beautiful face. She softly said, "Samar, there are more than a dozen goons inside. I am afraid we don't to be able fight them." He had heard that all these goons are scoundrel and do bad things. What if they beat both of them? Prachi did not have the courage to tease those goons. Even though she had reached in front of the dhaba, she didn't dare to go inside. Someone knew that Prachi was scared. He consoled her and said, "Prachi, don't worry, let's go inside. These goons cannot stand against me." Saying this, he held her hand and started going inside the Shivdha dhaba. There was a ramp at the entrance of the entry, on which many bikes were parked. Dozens of goons with colorful hair and strange clothes were sitting on the ground, eating and drinking. They were surrounded by beer bottles and barbecue stand. There was a lot of hustles and bustles. The goons were having a good time. They were shirtless and their arms had tattoos. They were taking big swings of beer and eating big pieces of meat. When they saw Samar and Prachi coming towards them, one of the tall men asked in a cold voice, "Who are you and what do you want?" Samar frowned and said softly, "Are you the leader of the gang? And if you not, call him. I am here to meet him." The man smelled very strongly of alcohol, which Samar didn't like at all. The tall man picked up the beer bottles and said drunkenly, "Meeting our boss is no cakewalk. If you want to save your life, leave from here immediately. Don't ruin my mood anymore." A flash of coldness appeared in Samar's eye, and he said in cold voice, I give you 3 seconds. Tell your boss to come and meet me. Otherwise, don't blame me later if I raise my hand. The tall man made a face and said, who are you? And how dare you threaten me? This is the Eagle Gang. Now see what happens to you. His face had turned dark and he moved forward with the beer bottle. He wanted to teach Samar a tough lesson so that he could know what the Eagle Gang was and what happens to those who try to mess with the Eagle Gang. Prachi held Samar's hand tightly when she looked at the scurrying Tolgun. His handsome face was terrifyingly white. She said in a trembling voice, Samar, this man is holding a beer bottle. What if he breaks the bottle on us? I think we should leave from here. Girls are timid and are naturally afraid of goons. Moreover, the goons had red hair. His arms were covered with old cuts and scars and tattoos. He was clearly not a good guy. Samar patted Prachi's delicate hand and looked at her with a reassuring look. Don't worry, I will break his hand before he can even touch us. In his eyes, tall man was very weak. He could blow him out of the air with one punch. In front of the Shadow King, everyone was weak, whom he could easily defeat. Suddenly, the man's eye fell on Prachi. He looked at Prachi and said, oh, there is a beautiful girl here too. And his eyes became hot. Although the Eagle Gang had a bunch of goons, they were all men. There was not a single girl among them, and looking at Prachi, he felt as if an eagle had descended from the sky and appeared in front of them. To him, Prachi's beautiful face and curvaceous body all looked very attractive to him. This made his blood boil. The tall goons took a swing of beer and angrily told Samar, if you want to save your life, leave this girl here and get out of here yourself. When Samar heard the words of the tall goon, his face turned gloomy and his eyes shone coldly. He said to himself, how dare you even threaten me and cast your dirty eyes on Prachi? No one can save you now. Some people just need a beating. He decided to solve this problem with his punch. Samar gave a hard punch to the goons with his right hand. He was as fast as lightning and instantly grabbed the beer bottle from the tall man's hand. He swung it in the arc of the air and smashed it brutally on his head. The beer bottle hit the man's head and there was a loud noise. This caused a huge wound on the head and blood started flowing. He fell on the ground and started moaning loudly. His head was covered in blood and he let out a shrill scream. He looked at Samar with horrible eyes. This man was very fast. He didn't not get time to react and the bottle hit his head. Dozens of goons present in the dhaba were shocked to hear the man's screams. Just then Samar and Prachi heard a loud voice. Brothers, let's finish this man. This man has come here to create an ruckus. The dozen of goons ran towards him with sticks and surrounded Samar. Then one of the goons started at Samar angrily and said, who are you? How dare you kill our friend? It seems you don't want to live anymore. Another man growled angrily and said, didn't you look around? No one dares to mess with us in the surrounding 10 miles. Another one threatened Samar and said, even God cannot save you today. Just tell me, how do you want to die? The goons around were abusing and arrogant. These people were used to being arrogant. They had just drunk alcohol and had become even more arrogant. Samar did in a cold voice, tell your leaders to meet me, otherwise you will have to the same fate as him. He raised a finger and pointed at the tall goons, who was still screaming on the ground. Just then, arrogant voice ahead. I want to see who is so brave to come to meet me. And the middle-aged man come out of the room inside the dhaba. The middle-aged man was tall, dressed in black, well-built, and looked like he was full of strength. It was clear that this was the result of long hours of workout in the gym and steroids. He stood there like a gorilla. The man stood in front of Samar and said in a stern voice, I am the boss of Eagle Gang, Bakhtawar. Everyone calls me Bakhtawar Bhai. Who are you? Tell me your name. The man named Bakhtawar was standing in front and said proudly, he should know that within a radius of 10 miles, any person would turn pale on hearing his name. He wanted to see if the person in front of him knew him or not. Maybe the person would pee in his pants on hearing his name. Summer didn't answer him for some time and kept looking at him silently. Seeing him staring like this, Bakhtawar got even more angry and his eyes started turning red with anger. When Samar saw his growing anger, he looked into Bakhtawar's eyes and said, my name is Samar. I work in the sales department of Agarwal Industries and have come to here to take 1 crore rupee of the company from you. Bakhtawar looked into his eyes and asked, what? If I refuse to give the money? Smiling at him, Samar said, I suggest you give me the money. Otherwise, you will not to be able to bear the consequence. Bakhtawar gave a cold smile, a cold gleam in his eyes and threatened Samar. Friend, the person who come to take money from me before you. I broke his hand. Did you still want money after knowing this? Samar put his hands behind his back and said proudly, yes, hand over 1 crore rupee to me, then I will let you too. Otherwise, you don't blame me for what happened next. Bakhtawar widened his eyes and pretending to be scared and said, Hmm, leave me, brother. I beg in front of you. Let me go. After saying this, he laughed loudly and said in a threatened tone, do you think I will be afraid of your zagal threats? On the contrary, I think that even after I break your arm, you will still have the same fearlessness in your eyes. Summer whispered coldly. For breaking one of my arm, I am afraid whether you will even survive or not. The attitude and pride on his face was even more than the armor. Even though there was a strong armored man more than 6 feet tall and more than a dozen of his men standing in front of him. Summer was not worried at all. In front of him, all these peoples were weak. Even if more people come, they would not be able to compete with him to a shadow king. A single ship and 30 ship were no different. Neither of them was a threat to the shadow king. Both were his food. Bakhtawar's face turned sad. His muscles contracted as he shoved off his explosive power and said, friend, I have broken the arm of 49 people so far. You have a chance to complete the half century. Saying this, he slammed his foot on the ground, and a crater as big his foot was formed on the ground. He suddenly swung his right hand and threw a powerful punch towards Samar. The punch created a whirling sound in the air. This is called the wind whirling fist. It was invented by a martial arts master using the theory of tornadoes. It was very terrifying, and each punch produced a whirling sound in the air. Summer slammed his foot on the ground and jumped into the air, and the next moment he stood right in front of Bakhtawar. Such a fast beat! Bakhtawar's face changed a little, and surprise was visible in his eyes. Summer's speed was very fast. It was much faster than he had thought. He knew that even he did not have the much speed. Not only that, none of the powerful fighters had seen That must speed. The speed was almost as fast as bullet. Samar attacked and his punch collided with Bakhtawar's punch. There was a loud explosion in the air. It felt as if a bomb had exploded in the air. Ah! Bakhtawar screamed loudly and he flew 10 meters in the air and fell down stumbling. His hands broke with a single punch from Samar. His face turned pale due to the stinging pain. What will Bakhtawar do now? Will he give the money to Samar or will he attack him instead? To find out what happened next, make sure to subscribe to the channel Sukun FM English. If you enjoy the story, please like, comment, and share also the story. Hello, friends, welcome to our channel Sukun FM English. We are here to listen Secret Son-in-Law Shadow King story. Today we listen episode number 24. If you visit first time on our channel, please press the bell icon and subscribe button also. If you enjoy the story, please like, comment and share also. Let's begin story. Bakhtavar holding his broken arm and said in horror, such strength. To practice the wind whirling fist, Bakhtavar punched trees and rocks with his hand every day. Eventually, using the wind whirling fist, he could break even the hardest rock. Little did he know, he would be so unlucky that he would be facing a martial art master. He didn't not have enough strength to deal with this man standing in front of him. Bakhtavar, a 6 feet 2-inch tall and well built man, was defeated by a Samar unexpectedly with a single punch, and not only that. He flew even 7 or 8 meters from the force of the punch and fell backwards. Just then, some voices started coming. Lost! Boss lost! Bakhtawar's goons standing around were shocked and there was complete disbelief in their eyes. One of the men said, how can boss lose like this? The other one also said in a surprised voice, the boss is very powerful. How can he lose to this weak looking boy? One of them even held his head and shaking his head said, what was happened? I am dreaming or has our boss really lost? Saying this, he lightly slapped his face to see if he was asleep. Just then, the man standing near him said to him, yes, yes, our boss has lost and has flown 7 to 8 meters with a single punch and fallen back. In the eyes of all of them, Bakhtar was not their boss, but their master. They considered him the most powerful till now, and there was nothing wrong in this. Before, today he was the most powerful man in the whole of Indore. All the gangs of Indore used to tremble on hearing Bakhtawar's name. But now, a thin, handsome boy had defeated them with just one punch. They were surprised and surrounded by some unimaginable fear. Where did that guy man come from? They were sure that they had never seen him in Indore nor had heard by his name. But how was he so capable that he defeated Bakhtawar with one punch? Bakhtawar got angry seeing his man so surprised. He was looking even more cruel now and shouted loudly, what are you guys standing and watching like this? Go and kill him. He thought that if all of them attack together, Samar will not be able to withstand. So he asked his men to attack Samar together. He said to himself, so you think yourself very capable? I have more people to defeat you. Let's see what you will do now. So he looked at his men with even more cruelty and said, brothers, take my revenge, kill this man. Hearing Bakhtawar's order, the goons around started shouting at Samar with sticks and beer bottles. Bakhtawar was their head. If someone killed him, than being his true followers. They should have taken revenge. In their hearts, no matter how capable Samar was, he was alone. But they were counted in dozens and had weapons too. It was easy for them to defeat this unnamed and skinny guy. As the saying goes, it is difficult for two hands to fight with four hands. No matter how capable someone was, he only had one pair of hands, whereas his opponent had hundreds of heads. Hands, how can be the two compared? Seeing Summer surrounded by a dozen of goons, Prachi panicked badly. Worry lines spread on her beautiful face. She said in worried tone, Summer, be careful. Summer stared at those goons without looking at Prachi and said, Prachi, you don't worry at all. They will not be able to do anything me. He looked at those goons with a cruel smile. His speed was faster than a lightning, and he immediately entered the midst of those thugs. Bang, bang, boom, boom. Summer was like a wolf attacking a herd of sheep, punching and kicking them one by one. Now there were shrill screams for those thugs. Some had their arms broken, some had their legs broken, and some had several teeth broken. In the blink of eye, dozens of men who looked fierce were all laying on the ground, covered in blood and moaning in pain. These thugs had never imagined that they could be loose. But the results were completely opposite to their imagination and were very cruel. They wanted to intimidate Samar and punish him for killing Bakhtawar by taking advantage of their large numbers. But they didn't know that no matter how big the flock was, for the Shadow King, they were just weak chickens. Prachi was shocked to see Samar's strength. She said in surprise, Samar, you are very powerful. Her mouth remained open in surprise and it seemed as if she had forgotten to close her mouth. She did not need to worry about Summer right now. These people could not compete with Summer at all. Summer was so powerful that Prachi fell in love with him. Prachi didn't know why she felt she seeing Summer's thin but muscular body. She felt as if butterflies were flying in her stomach. Her eyes sparkled. Samar's shirt was torn and seeing his muscles, her heart beat even faster. Any girl could become his fan after seeing this body. As the saying goes, heroes love beauties, but beauties also love heroes. Female animals have a natural attraction and admiration for strong male animals. This is determined by their genetic predispositions. Similarly, Prachi was happy and excited to see Summer's strength. But those gangsters were not happy. Their faces were pale with fear, and if their parents had died, no more than that, they were terrified. At the moment, Bakhtawar and all the gangsters were shocked and scared. They were filled with fear with after seeing Summer moves. One of them, trembling, said, "Oh, who is this?" It was nothing less than a miracle that one man defeated dozens of armed goons in the blink of eye. Bakhtawar knew that these men were not ordinary goons. They used to fight often. They were very strong martial arts fighters. Many of them were at stage 1 of level 2. There are total of 3 levels in martial art and each level has 3 stages. People take years of to cross the first level, but seeing Summer's fighting skills, Bakhtawar felt that he must be a martial art master. He was sure that even a level 3 fighters could not defeat his men like this. Although most of his men were at stage 3 of levels 1, many of them were on the verge of crossing stage 1 of level 2. Granted, those men were nothing in front of level 3 men, but given their numbers, even a level 3 man could not stand against them. Still, a thin, lean looking boy defeated all these men in a minute. What will he if He was not a devil. Despite being thin, Summer had a good body. Seeing his taut muscles and the way he fought, Bakhtawar's eyes were filled with fear and regret. If he had known this man was so dangerous, he could have quietly given 1 crore rupees. But now that all this happened because of him, he could not do anything. Looking at his pale face, it was clear that he was regretting his actions. Suddenly, they heard a soft voice from behind. Don't move, anyone! Everyone raise your hands. And then a beautiful policewoman entered the entry with a gun pointed at her. She had pointed her gun at Summer and Pakhtawar. Summer turned around and saw that the beautiful policeman woman was none other than Jia Shekhawat. Summer frowned. A glimpse of surprise was visible in his eyes. Jia was also shocked to see her. Shocked, both of them said together, Hey, you! What are you doing here? Summer was looking at Jia in surprise. Then Jia started at him and said, So you are the bastard who was over speeding on the bike? You did not stop even after seeing the police and run away. This time I will also see who saves you from my hands. Summer did not understand anything she said, so he said in surprise, What? Me? When did I try to run away and why would I run away? But then stared at Summer ruthlessly after seeing Bakhtawar and his men laying on the ground and asked in a cold voice, Whether you run away or not, we will talk about that later. Now you tell me, what was happened to these men laying on the ground? And then, looking at Bakhtawar's hand, she said, His hand is also broken. She had definitely come to know Summer very well. The last time she saw Summer, she was with him in the hotel. The two without clothes, although nothing had happened between them. Summer had seen her without clothes, because of which she was very angry with Summer. Summer rolled with his eyes and thought to himself, This girl always gets in my way. This time I will some fun with her. Deciding to tease Zia, Summer said to her, Darling, you are pointing a gun at your own husband. Do you want to kill your husband? I am very sad to see this. Summer made a face as if he was very sad and disappointed. While saying this, his act looked very realistic. But Jia was very angry after hearing his words. Jia was speechless. Her heart was roaring with anger. She said to himself, My husband? When did you become my husband? We got married and I didn't even know. She understood that this man is very shameless. She knew before that Summer is a rude man, but she never thought that he would be so shameless. He was flirting with him in front of many people. She was not able to tolerate this at all. She will have to teach this man a tough lesson. Jia's face had turned red. She was clenching her white teeth. Her beautiful eyes were filled with anger. She looked at Summer angrily and said, Which husband? What kind of husband? And whose husband? Who is your wife? If you keep talking nonsense like this, I will break your face. That raging fire was like a flame, which was desperate to burn the man standing in front of her. Then Summer said, putting his face, Zia, you were with me in the same hotel, in the same room. Don't deny this, otherwise my heart will break. I am angry with you. Summer acted as if he had been wronged, as if the girl standing in front of him had done a lot of injustice to him. Seeing his innocent face and hearing his words, everyone present there became sad. His acting was definitely very good. He should have got at least an Oscar award for this acting. The two constables standing behind the Zia gave her a weird look. Was it true that their violent and beautiful inspector was the wife of the guy in front of them? Both were ready to gossip in their hearts. Although their own inspector was transferred to the traffic police term, her senior officer had just ordered her to join the crime branch again from yesterday. So when the two met Zia on Elijah Road a while ago, they had come with her. Zia frowned her eyebrows. A serious look was visible on her pretty face, and she angrily shouted at Samar, "Tie your hands behind your head and get down on your knees right now." Dozens of people were laying on the ground, some with broken arms, some with broken legs. If looked like someone had beaten them brutally, it was a big crime, and the person could be sentenced at least 7 years for this. Although Zia didn't know what the connections was between Summer and this gang. She was sure that the injured people must have some connections with this boy. Because expect Summer and the girl standing behind him, everyone else was injured and fell on the ground. Looking at the beautiful and gentle girl, it was clear that she could not kill these goons, and the only one left apart from the girl was this shameless man. So, in Zia's eyes, Summer was at the top of the prime suspect list. Zia took out of the gun and reached Summer. She pointed the gun at the forehead and said angrily, "I am giving you 3 seconds. Put your hand up and get on your knees. And if you don't do this, I will shoot you." However, her threats had no effect on Summer. He was just smiling and looking at without any fear. He was directly provoking Zia. Zia was also angry. It was even more infuriating that Summer challenged her in front of many people. Her pretty face turned tomato red with anger. So was a policewoman. Summer behavior and undoubtedly hurt her dignity. Zia's soft and pretty hand was shaking a little while holding the gun. She was afraid that it was she was a little careless, the gun might fire. Yet she threatened Summer one more time, saying, "If you don't put your hands up, I will shoot you." Honestly, she didn't want to do this, but Summer behavior had really made him very angry. The smile on Summer's face disappeared when she was Zia's finger on the trigger. Summer pulled back her hand and said in a cold voice, "I hate people who pointed gun at me. I give you a chance to put the gun down." He didn't like Zia pulling a gun on him at all, and the people who had pulled a gun on him in the past went to hell. Luckily, he knew Zia, and he had seen her like that himself that day. There was a little guilt after all, otherwise, she would have been dead. Hearing Summer's threat, Zia's beautiful face showed anger. Summer had threatened a police inspector. If police come to know about this, they will laugh at him. Just then a loud sound came. Zia's hand shook in anger and the bullet was fired. The bullet passed by Summer's side and went straight to back wall. There was only a distance of 4 centimeters between Summer and the bullets. If Summer had no moved from this place, the bullets would have hit him directly on the forehead. Summer rolled his eyes angrily and thought to himself, "This retarded girl actually shoot at me. This girl is really crazy. How dare she shoot at me?" Just then Jia threatened him once again and said, "Raise your hands even now. Otherwise the next bullet will hit you directly on the forehead." Summer got angry after hearing her threat. He said to himself, "It seems that until I teach you a lesson, you will not stop any antics." Thinking this, a devil's smile come on his face. He moved towards Jia in anger. Zia got a little scared seeing Summer coming towards with her a devil's smile. Summer smiles seems very dangerous to her, but still, hiding her nervousness, she said in a slightly stern voice. Summer, don't look, resist, stop, raise your hand, and don't act crazy. She was saying this, but at the same time, she was moving back. She felt as if a wolf was coming towards her. She got goosebumps out of fear. Summer completely ignored Gia's threat and kept moving towards her. Although Gia's face was delicate and beautiful and she was a little violent, but she was a sensual girl from inside. Gia got a little scared seeing Summer coming close to her. She always felt that this man was dangerous. Then suddenly Summer disappeared from in front of her. She said in surprise, where did he disappear? And how? He was right here just now. Where he goes, Summer friends. Can you imagine? If you enjoy the story, please like, comment, and share in your groups also. Hello, friends, welcome to our channel Sukun FM English. How are you? Hope you are all okay. If you visit the first time our channel, please subscribe our channel and also press the bell icon. If you enjoy the story, please like, comment, and share the story. Yesterday, we saw Summer was disappeared in front of the Zia inspector. Where did he go? Today we find out the reason behind this. Welcome to our 25th episode of the Secret Son-in-Law Shadow King story. Let's begin. Zia got a little scared seeing Summer coming close to her. She always felt that this man was dangerous. Then suddenly, Summer disappeared in front of her. She said in surprise, where did he disappear? And how? He was right here just now. A puzzled look appeared on Zia's face. The man in front of had disappeared all the sudden. The fact was she could not see how he disappeared. Zia thought she had been targeted. Just then she heard a voice. Are you looking for me? She turned towards the voice and saw Summer standing behind her, holding her small, shapy waist and smiling at her. Feeling uncomfortable with his action, Zia's beautiful face turned pale, and she shouted angrily, you bastard! Keep your dirt hands away from me! Zia raised the gun in her hands and prepared to shoot Summer. But then Summer quickly moved his right hand forward, and the gun disappeared from her hand. Summer looked at her with a devilish smile and said, how dare you shoot at me? You will be have to pay for this. But Zia's attention was still on Summer's other hand, which was still on her waist. Her pretty face turned red. Cold sweat broke out on her forehead. This time she said a little pleadingly, Summer, please take your hand away. So many people are watching. What respect will I have in their eyes? This man Summer was very strange. He snatched the gun from her hand in the blink of eye, and if it was magic. Summer said to her with a smile, no, you dare to shoot your husband. You will get the punishment for this. Saying this, he held Zia's thin waist even tight and moved her lips forward, her lips to kiss. Zia's lips were like cherry, with a little sweetness that was hard to leave. Seeing Summer moving forward to kiss her, Zia's pretty face turned red like a ripe cherry. She tried to break free from the Summer grip and said, hey, leave me, let me go. She was resisting Summer, but he held her tighter. Smiling the strong aura her masculinity, she got engrossed in it. Just then a breeze blew and their lips come close to each other. Now Summer could not hold himself for long and he put her lips on Zia's lips. Seeing them kissing like this, the constable standing behind said to his pet partner, "Hey, what I am saying? He kissed our man." The other one looked at him and said, "Oh God, what was happened? Am I dreaming?" The first constable pinched her, which made her, "Ah!" And the other constable pinched her and said, "Hey brother, this is not a dream, this is true." The two police officers standing behind were screaming and were heartbroken. There was a look of jealous and anger in their eyes. Zia was the beauty of the police station and ruled their hearts. But now the beauties of the police station had kissed Summer. Both the constables were looking at Summer with hateful eyes. Prachi was also staring at them with anger. Summer was her crush, and how could he kiss another girl in front of her? Prachi said to himself, "Summer, you are so bad. How can you kiss that policewoman? If you should kiss someone, it should have been me." She was falling sad, looking at them both. But then she shook her head and said to herself, "Oh no, Prachi, what were you thinking? How can you let Summer kiss you like that?" Her mind was filled with confusion. The next moment, another thought came to her. But if Summer kissed you, would you refuse? She thought for a moment and finally concluded that if Summer kissed her, she would not refuse. This made her shy and soft heart beat faster. She also showed a glimpse of anticipation. "Prachi, you have become very naughty," he muttered in his heart. Just then, both of Zia's constables raised their guns and angrily pointed them at Summer. They shouted angrily, "Bastard! Leave our inspector right now, or else we will shoot you." While Summer was tangled up in the matter, he saw two police officers pointing their guns at him. This made him very dissatisfied. Summer let go to Zia and walked in front of the two police officers like lightning. He raised her left hand and their guns disappeared instantly. Both the police officers were shocked and shouted together, "Where is my gun?" This man raised his hand and their guns also disappeared. It was like magic. When Jia saw that her two subordinates' guns were also taken away, her delicate face turned white. She looked into Summer's eyes and said, "Give us back our guns." The gun is a body part of the police officer. If they lost their gun, they would be kicked out of the police force. As the captain of the two police constables, the responsibility and duty to get back the stolen guns were on him. But Summer smiled, pursed her lips, and said, "I am sorry, I didn't see your guns." He has never going to admit that he had stolen their guns. Ziaz frowned angry and said, "You are lying. You have stolen our guns. Now it's your responsibility to get back them no matter what do you, no matter where you bring from them." This bastard had not only taken advantage of him, but also stolen his gun. Samar pulled his hand and said to Zia with a smile, "I have nothing. If you don't believe me, you can search me." Saying this, he stood up in front of Zia with his hands spread out. Zia's beautiful face was filled with confidence. She was sure that the gun was with Samar. So she said confidently, "Okay, if you are not agree, then I will no other option but you search you. I am sure that our gun must be with you." She put her delicate hands in Samar's pocket and searched carefully. But she did not find the gun with them. Her eyes widened in surprise. She thought in surprise, "What? He does not have a gun. But how is this possible?" Zia's bright eyes were filled with surprise. Her beautiful face was filled with disbelief. She had clearly seen Summer snatching her gun, but she searched his entire clothes and did not find the gun. After searching once, Zia was not sure that he did not have gun. She searched once more, still did not find the gun. How can this be possible? How is this possible that she doesn't have a gun? Her eyes were filled with confusion. Seeing her being searched like this, Samar started shedding crocodile tears and pretending as if his wife was not believing him and was torturing him. Shedding tears, he said, I already told you that I don't have your gun. Why are you not believing me? Zia's pretty face had turned red with anger. She shouted angrily, where have you hidden the gun? You bastard! There were tears in her eyes, and she was so angry that he almost cried. At her words, Samar put his hand on the scene and pretended to think about something and said, if you guys beg me for the gun, I will tell you where your gun is. This girl always come in his way. Samar felt that he should teach her a lesson. Once he wins over this girl, she will never come in this way. He said one more time, beg me? Say please return my gun. Zia was very angry after hearing his words, but she had no choice left. So she pleaded, Summer, please. I fold my hands in front of you. Please tell me, where are my guns? Her face was full of shame and anger. Summer smiled like a big bad wolf when he sees his prey. He said that devil smile. I have put your guns in my pant belt. If you don't believe me, you can see it. After hearing Summer's words, Zia's first reaction was that Summer is flirting with her and she got ready to fight with them. But Zia thought carefully. When she searched him, she did not see his pant belt. She thought to herself, maybe he has really hidden the guns there. Zia's eyelids flattened and she searched her pant and finally found all three guns stuck in Summer's belt. She accidentally come too close to Summer, which made her blush with embarrassment and anger. Summer smiled misbehaviously and said, Zia, you are very naughty. You are looking for access to come close to me. But then Zia pushed him angrily and said, Bastard, I will kill you. She was very angry. She pointed the gun at Summer and got ready to kill this shameless man. She pulled the trigger and fired two consecutive shots, but there was not a single bullet inside the gun. The corners of Summer's lips curled up, and he said in a complaining tone, you want to kill your husband? I will file a case against you in court. Faced with Summer's flirtatious word, Zia rolled her eyes and refused to talk to him. She looked at the empty gun and said in surprise, where did the bullets go from the gun? She remembered very well that there were 10 bullets inside the gun right now. Can the gun be empty all of a sudden? Summer smiled slightly and said while opening his pen, I think you are looking for this. There were shiny brass bullets in his hand. Zia's lips were slightly parted. She felt as if she had been struck by an electric shock. Her eyes were filled with shock. She stared at Summer and said, how did these bullets come into your hands? Summer was very powerful. Zia's eyelids trembled. She felt deep fear in her heart. Summer could not only snatched her guns in an instant but could also strategically remove the bullets from the gun. What should I call this if not magic? Not even a special forces. Soldiers come match his lightning like speed. Perhaps only lightning could match him. Summers gave a cold smile and radiated a cold, deadly presence. Looking into Summer's eyes, he said, I told you that I don't like anyone showing a gun and threatening me like this. Now, if you don't listen to me, what should I do? You should thank God that we already knew each other by chance. If it was not so, I would have killed you long ago. On hearing his words, Jaz covered her redly. Her face turned pale and she started trembling. She felt that the man standing in front of her he was wolf and she was a lamb that the wolf could tear into pieces at any time. Jia asked very carefully, Samar, can you return the pills to me? The pills were also like her second life. She had to get them back. That's why she requested Summer very carefully. With love and respect, she was afraid that Summer might take something she said badly and grab her neck. Summer showed off his skills by throwing the pill in his hand and said smilingly, Sure, but first you have to call me darling, otherwise you don't even think about the pill. Although Zia's face turned red and rosy like alcohol, she still suppressed her anger and resentment and said to Summer without any tantrum, Darling, darling, please return the pills to me. What will do Summer next? Listen to tomorrow's episode. If you enjoy the story, please like, share and comment in comment section. Hello friends, welcome to our story Secret Son-in-law Shadow King. We are here to present episode number 26. If you enjoy the story, please share and comment and like the story. And if you visit first time our channel, please subscribe our channel Sukun FM English and press the bell icon also. Let's begin story. Zia rolled her eyes and said with disdain, Are you joking? How can someone's arms break just because they tripped? Do you think I am a kid born yesterday and will believe you? I agree that one person will trip and fall, and I agree that his arm will break. But how did so many people fall together? Zia was shocked to see Summer's face. How can a person lie so easily looking into someone's eyes? Such a man must be punished. Hearing her, Summer smiled and pointing towards Bakhtawar said, I am telling the truth. If you don't believe me, you can ask him. His name is Bakhtawar. You guys should talk to each other. Bakhtawar? Zia looked at him closely and found that the person with the broken arm was actually Bakhtawar. She knew to for sure who he was. The leaders of the Eagle Gang, a notorious goon who had more than 10 other gangs working under him. Zia looked angrily at Bakhtawar and asked in a cold voice, Bakhtawar, you tell me, who beat you so badly? Bakhtawar thought to herself on hearing her question. What nonsense is this? Can't you know that we have been beaten by this devil? Don't you have a brain? How can you ask such a stupid question? When he did not say anything, Zia asked him once again, Tell me, who killed you people? But Bakhtawar had faced Summers and knew how scary he was. So he kept trembling and did not want to get into any more trouble. The police could at most put him in jail for a few days. But if he took Summer's name, he would not even survive. When Summer could kill her people in a minute, he would finish him off in a snap. Finally, he told Zias that he had fallen on his own. Zia want made after hearing his statement. Ting, ting, ting. Zia's phone rang. She immediately took the phone out of her pocket and saw that it was ASP Mayank calling from the police station. As soon as Zia picked up the phone, she said, "Hello, sir. Tell me what is the matter." The ICP then said, "Zia, come back to the police station right now." Zia replied to him saying, "Sir, I am finishing the case outside. It will be take me more time to come back." Hearing the ICP said, "No, Zia, come back right now. We have an emergency case. A girl has been murdered outside the city. Come back right now and investigate the case. This is my order." Zia had no other option. So she said, "Yes, sir, I am coming right now." Saying this, she disconnected the phone and had to return immediately with her team. However, Zia gave a stem look to Samar while leaving, as she was still unable to want go her anger. After she left, Samar walked towards Bakhtawar and said, "Bakhtawar, it is time to repay the debt of 1 crore rupee to Agarwal industry. Isn't it?" He mocked him, saying this. After making eye contact with Samar, Bakhtawar trembled and, nodding madly, said, "Yes, yes, brother, yes. I will get the money right away." Bakhtawar ran inside and bought 1 crore rupee in cash in a black bag and carefully handed it over to Samar. Samar took the bag of the money from him and after checking it, he held Prachi's hand and said, "Come on, Prachi, we got our money. Now we should leave." And he came out of the dhaba with her. He took Prachi with him on his bike and left for Agarwal industry. However, Samar did not know that a conspiracy was going on against him in a basement several kilometers away from them. There was only a dim candlelight in the basement. There was a strong young man with a strong body and a hard nose sitting on a chair, but he looked cold. A strong feeling of cold was spreading in his body, which scared everyone. "Tiger King, I failed." The poisonous spider was on the knees with her hands bandaged. She was so scared that she couldn't stop herself from sweating. No one knew better than a poisonous spider how terrifying Tiger King was. He was a cruel and ruthless beast. Tiger King held two destroyer balls and said coldly, "You know what the consequence would be if you failed, right?" Poisonous Spider face turned pale. She knew that Tiger King hated losers the most and would definitely sentence them all to that right now. So she pleaded, "Tiger King, please give me another chance. I will definitely kill Shadow King this time." Tiger King mocked her. You can never kill Summer Shadow King." Poisonous Spider folded her hands and said, "Tiger King, I can't kill him, but I can kill his wife and make her suffer for the rest of her life." The Tiger King listens to her carefully and, after thinking for a while, said, "Okay, then I gave you another chance. But if you fail again, what will you do?" The Tiger King waved his hand and asked the poisonous spider to leave after finishing his words. The dark basement became quiet again. The Tiger King also already knew everything about Summer's marriage and his wife. However, Summer still had no idea that there was a plan to kill his wife. While driving, Summer noticed that Prachi, who was sitting behind him, was sad. So he asked her, "Prachi, why are you sad? Hmm?" Prachi looked sad ever since they left the eatery, as if she was having trouble with something. Prachi frowned as she had Summer from the back seat and softly asked, Summer, who do you find more beautiful? Me or that policewoman? Summer raised his eyebrows. She found it what he said funny. She finally got in answer. Prachi was jealous of the policeman. He said softly, "You are definitely prettier than her. That policewoman is aggressive as a lion and always keeps bothering me and always keeps getting in my way." Summer was very good at complimenting girls. Of course, he was flattering Prachi, but when he said the opposite about the policewoman, Prachi burst out laughing. The way she laughed was as beautiful as a blooming flower. The policewoman in a question was indeed aggressive. Who would point her gun at anyone? She matched the descriptions given by Summer exactly. Besides, Prachi was also happy that she was prettier in Summer's eyes. Prachi clenched her fist and silently said to herself, "You can do this. You are the prettiest in his eyes." Summer twisted the accelerator of the bike and sped off towards Agarwal Industry. After spending so much time at the dhaba, it was already afternoon. He had to hurry back to the company before his shift ended. Half an hour later, Summer finally reached the company. Summer smiled and drove the bike towards the parking lot and said to Prachi, "Prachi, you go to the sales department. I will give this bike to that fat guy and came back." Prachi looked towards the second floor and said to Summer, "Okay, you will come quickly." Saying this, he went to the sales department on the second floor. Summer parked the bike and took the keys and went back to the security department. The security department was located on the northeast side of the building. It was separated over an area of more than 100 square meters and had more than 20 security guards. Security guards Rohan. So Samar coming and ran towards him and said, "Hey dear, you are finally back." He thought that Samar just needed the bike for a short time and he did not expect that he would not return for the whole day. He had also been scolded by the director of the afternoon because he refused to let him go during the lunch time. Smiling a little, Samar said, "I am sorry, Rohan brother. I took a little more time, but the work for which I had gone is done. So a treat from my side," and gave him the keys back. Hearing this, Rohan's face lit up with a smile and he took out his mobile and said, "Okay, brother, you take my phone number and call me," and started telling his number to Summer. Summer also gave his number to him and then went towards the sales department. The shift was about to end. The fat man had to complete the cleaning in the security department, and Summer also had to go to back the sales department. However, at this time, Prachi had reached Pranav office in the sales department. As soon as Pranav saw Prachi, he asked, "Prachi, have you bought 1 crore rupee from the Eagle gang?" And at the same time, he was looking at Prachi with dirt eyes. Prachi saw the lust in his eyes, but still she smiled and said, "Yes, sir, I have bought money from them." Pranav asked in surprise, "Where it is?" Prachi replied, "Mr. Samar has the bag of the money. He is coming in a second." Prachi stepped back, clenching her fist. She was scared of him. Pranav stared at her and said, "Prachi, do you know what will happen if you lie to me?" Prachi asked in surprise. "What do you mean?" Pranav smiled and said, "I mean it very simple. Samar can never bring money from the Eagle gang and you are lying to me." Prachi said in a slightly stem voice, "Sir, I am telling the truth. Samar is really bringing the money." Prachi tried her best to convince Pranav because she knew that not only Pranav but no one would believe this. Pranav did the Samar and shouted back at her, "Prachi, I don't believe you. I still have two options for you. Either you become my girlfriend or leave Agrawal industry. Prachi said once again. Sir, believe me, Samar is bringing the money. Pranav said in a sarcastic tone. Bitch, if I don't believe you, what will you do? And he started moving towards Prachi. Suddenly, Samar opened the door. He angrily went to Pranav. He had heard the conversations between them from outside and he was angry after hearing what Pranav said. The man was actually forcing the poor girl to become his girlfriend, what a scold did. Prachi went to Samar and started crying as soon as he came. She cried and said, Samar. She was very scared these days because Pranav was constantly getting into her trouble. Today he had insulted her a lot. Samar felt pity on seeing Prachi's crying like this. He put his hand on Prachi's shoulder and said, Prachi, don't be afraid. I have come. Now I will you take care of it. Pranav frowned at Samar and said threateningly, Samar, this is my office. Who did you ask before coming inside? Why did this boy suddenly come inside when he was coming towards Prachi to kiss her? He was angry that Samar had again interfered between them. Samar extended the bag of the money in his hand towards Pranav and said, I just came to give this 1 crore rupee. Take this. We have bought 1 crore rupee in cash from Eagle Gang. Pranav was shocked when he saw the Eagle Gang logo on the bag and 1 crore rupee in cash in it. Eagle Gang, all these people were notorious goons. Till now, the people whom Pranav had sent to collect the check and had their hands broken by the Eagle Gang, goons and were still hospitalized. What superpower did the man have that he got the check from the time? 1 crore rupee, a huge amount for those goons. How did they agree to return the money? No matter how Samar bore the money, Pranav was angry that he had freed Prachi from this debt issue. When Pranav had no other questions left, he directly threatened Prachi. Listen, Prachi, I don't care if you got your money back or not. If you want to continue working in the sales department, you have to become my girlfriend, otherwise, I will make life difficult for you. He crossed all limits. If he could not win her hearts, at least he could have gotten her in person. Samar angrily shouted at Pranav after hearing his words. What a man! It's a shame to have a man like you in Agrawal industry. Prachi's face turned dark and when he saw Samar shouting at him, he threatened Samar like a man. How dare you shout at me? I think you don't want to work here anymore. Samar was a normal employee in the sales department. How dare he shout at him? On the other hand, Pranav was a manager in the department who was his senior. But Samar was not affected by his trade. He moved towards Pranav and said, You threaten me? Now see what I do to you. Samar had decided to punish this arrogant freak. What will do Samar next? What will happen in the next episode? See in tomorrow episode. Friends, if you please enjoy our story, like, comment and share also the story. Hello friends, welcome to our channel Sukun FM English. You are listening to about episode number 27 and we are hope you enjoy it. If you do, please don't forget to like, share and let us know your thoughts in comments. And if you have not subscribed to the channel yet, make sure to hit the subscribe button and press the bell icon so you never miss a new episode. Now let's begin the story. As soon as Samar moved towards him, Pranav's expression changed and he shouted a warning. I am your senior. If you even touch me, I will report you to the CEO and have you fired. Samar brushed our laughing. A cold gleam sparkled in his eyes. He despised men who misbehaved with women. So, still smiling, he said, even if I lose my job, I won't let you go unpunished. You will get a proper beating. Saying this, he suddenly lifted his right leg and delivered a lightning fast kick to Pranav's stomach. The force of the kick sent Pranav flying and crashing into the office door. The door flew open and he trembled more than 10 meters outside. Blood gushed from his mouth. He opened it and spat out a thick stream of blood. His face turned blue and he lay there for a long time without being able to get up. He just lay on the ground, staring at Samar in disbelief, wondering how someone could be so powerful. Seeing Pranav fall like that, all the employees in the sales department rushed to him. When they saw Samar standing there, everyone was shocked. They could understand why Samar had attacked Pranav. Whispered begins circulating among the employees. One said in amazement, what just happened? Why did Samar hit manager Pranav? What's going on? Another added, yeah, what's happening? Pranav is his senior. How could he hit him? Doesn't he care about his job? A third employee nervously said, oh, I never thought this new guy would be so violent. Good thing I never messed with him. Some people even held grudges against Pranav. One of them said, this manager Pranav always abuses his position, bullies people. He is arrogant about his role. He deserved this beating. All the employees in the sales department were taking amongst themselves, guessing towards both men. No one felt any sympathy for Pranav. They had just found a hot topic to gossip about. From their conversation, it was clear Pranav was not respected much in the department, even though he had been beaten badly and was injured. No one came forward to help him. Samar walked up to Pranav, looked at him with a smile, and said, Pranav, do you still want to force Prachi to be your girlfriend? Prachi shivered as soon as he heard Samar's voice. He was certain if his answer did not please Samar, this man might beat him up again. He lowered his head in defeat and muttered, no, I won't do anything like that again. Summer smiled slightly and warned him. Good, but remember this. If I even hear that you are tried something like this again, I will break your legs. Then ignoring him and he won't bother anymore. Come on, let's go. Saying this, he grabbed his hand and walked her out of the office. It was the end of the workday, so he had taken her out to the office building. Everyone around them moved aside quietly, fear written all over their faces. Pranav's face twisted in frustration, and a dangerous glint sparkled in his eyes. Watched Samar mark away, and he muttered to himself, Samar, you might have you won today, but I will get my revenge. He knew he lost for now, simply because he realized he could not beat Samar with strength. But there are many ways to bring a man down, and if he couldn't defeat his physically, he would find other ways. As Pranav stayed in his thought, Samar and Prachi walked out of the company premises. Prachi, following Samar, had her beautiful face flushed red. She looked at him and, grateful, said, thank you, Samar, for helping me. She knew very well if Samar had not been there today, Not only would we have failed to recover the 1 crore rupee that was stolen by the Eagle gang, but she might have had to quit her job to escape Pranav's harassment. It was Samar who had saved her. Samar gently touched her face and said with a warm smile, "Silly girl, what there are thank to me. We're friends, and friends are meant to help each other." But Prachi was thinking something else entirely. She told herself silently, "Just friends. I don't want to be just your friend." Still, she surprised her feelings and said, "Samar, our company has a policy for every jewelry sale. We have 5% commission and 1% on amount recovered. You have helped recover a 1 crore rupee today. That means your commission is 1 lakh. Let's go get it." She started turning back towards the company, but then remembered it was already the end of the day. Scratching her head, she said, "Summer, the office is closed now. Tomorrow we will go to the finance department. I will make sure you get your commission." Summer nodded casually and said, "No problem. We will both go in the morning. Don't stress about it." They talked a little more, then walked their separate ways. Since he didn't have any money, Summer decided to walk home. Walking and its benefits, it was good exercise, and he got to enjoy the sight of Indore city. Meanwhile, Kiara Agarwal, the CEO, didn't have to walk. Naturally, she had her own car. After finishing her work, she drove out of the office around 7 p.m. and headed home. It was winter, and the days were short, so the sky had already gone dark by the time she parked her car in the garage. Even though the street lights were glowing, they could not fully lit up the front of her villa. She took out her keys and unlocked the main door. The inside of the villa was pitch black. As Kiara stepped into the villa, she flipped the light switch, but nothing happened. A flicker of the confusion crossed her beautiful face. "What's wrong with me, lights?" she muttered. "How could the bulbs suddenly stop working?" All the bulbs in her villa were of premium quality. They had never malfunctioned before, but today, strangely, not a single one turned on. Thinking maybe it was a specific switch problem, she began trying other one by one. Still nothing. None of the three additional switches she passed brought any lights. Finally, the reality dawned on her. Something was seriously wrong. The entire villa was engulfed in darkness, like an abandoned, haunted mansion. A chill ran down her spine. She felt something was off, something abnormal inside the house. As she turned around to leave, the main door slammed shut behind her with a loud bang. Started by the sound, Kiara's face turned pale. Slowly walking towards the door, she whispered, "Who just shut the door? There's not even any vent, which means someone must have closed it. Someone is inside the villa." She could already sense that an intruder was present, but that confused her even more. Nipane Palace was the most elite area in the world. The security here was extremely tight. Entry or exit required registering at the front gate. No one could just walk in. Whoever this was, they had bypassed her security, slipped past the guards, and managed to infiltrate her home. That realization alone made her skin crawl. Who was in the house? What will do next, Kiara? What will happen in the next episode? Stay tuned with Sukun FM English. If you enjoy the story, please share, like, and comment in the comment section. Hello, friends. How are you? Hope you all are okay. Friends, welcome to our channel Sukun FM English. We are listening to about episode number 28. How is the story? If you enjoy the story, please like the story and share the story. And do also a valuable comment in the comment section. If you visit the channel in first time, please subscribe our channel Sukun FM English. Let's now begin the story. Tomorrow we see the unusual activity in the garage house. What will happen? Trying to maintain a brave face, Kiara called out into the darkness. Who's in the house? Come out and speak. But no voice answered. Then, gathering a bit more courage, she spoke again in a firm, threatening tone. If you don't come out, I will call the police right now. She reached her cell phone. Just then, a cold, piercing voice came from the shadow. Don't even think of calling the police, or I will kill you on the spot. The chill in the voice shook Kiara to the core. But now that it was clear someone was in the room, her fear gave way to a strange calm. Looking forward the direction of the voice, she asked, who are you? And who let you in? If someone paid you to kidnap me, I will pay you double. Just don't hurt me. She knew the corporate world was filled with the ruthless rivals, and some would go to any length of money. There were even stories of CEOs being kidnapped or killed. In fact, just a few months ago, a rival company's CEO was abducted and thrown into a river. But this girl is a shadow rejects her offer coldly. I don't want your money. I want your life. Kara's eyes widened in horror. Why? Why do you want to kill me? What have I done for you? A pause, then the voice returned. Truthfully, I have nothing against you, but I do have a score to settle with your husband. And since you are his wife, it's only natural. You must die too. There was such deadly intensity in the room and in the voice that it was Kiara's voice tremble. But Kiara tried to hold back her fear. She called out into the dark. My husband is a dangerous man. I suggest you leave while you still can. If you wait for him to come back, you will definitely lose your life. The bag she was clutching trembled in her hands. She was terrifying, praying silently, please, Samar, come back soon, save me. Moments later, the living room lights flickered on, and Kiara's family was saw the figure standing before her. A girl dressed entirely in skin tight black combat gear, about 5.6 tall, pale face, sharp eyes like a venomous snake. A bandage wrapped around her left arm and a dangerous aura radiating from her. This was the same woman who had attacked her at summer earlier, the infamous poisonous spider. Recognition struck Kara like a bolt. Oh no, it's if summer doesn't come soon, she will kill me. Her face turned pale again. Fear gripped her from the inside out. She whispered inside her head, come back, Summer, please save me. Kiara was terrified, but she tried to keep her composure. She offered, poisonous spider, if you walk away from here right now, I will give you whatever amount you ask. Just tell me how much do you want. Of course, if the deal worked, that would be deal. But even if it did not, Kiara's hoped to at least steal her until summer returned. When she noticed that poisonous spider didn't respond, she tried again. If you want, I can give you 10 crore repose now, right now. Poisonous spider sneered. 10 crore? A big shot saves life. Worth only 10 crore? It is that a bit too cheap. Thiraj immediately raised the offer. Okay, what about 20 crore? The woman laughed coldly and said, I know you what you are doing. You are trying to waste my time. But it's useless. I am not interested in money. I want your life. A chilling smile stretched across her face. A murderous gleam appeared in her eyes. But then something unexpected happened. When she looked closely into Kiara's eyes, something stared inside her. After a moment of thought, Poisonous Spider said, Wait a minute. Your eyes, they are making me reconsider. Instantly, Kiara became hopeful. She quickly asked, Tell me what I can do. What will make you spare me? Poison Spider said coldly, I don't want your money, but if you help me kill your husband, I will let you live. Otherwise, my men will leave you in such a state that you will never show your face to the whole world. Saying this, she whispered sharply. From the corners of the room, two men dressed in black emerged and stood behind Poisonous Spider. She whispered to herself with satisfaction. Shadow King, you might be powerful, but you can't protect your wife from me. You broke my hand, so I will make sure I break your heart tonight, right before I kill her. Kira's face turned pale. No, you can't do this to me, she pleaded. You are a woman too. How can you let this happen to another woman? But Poisonous Spider said nothing. She just looked at Kiara with a sick grin. Eyes full of evil, Kiara told herself. You have to escape and run. Kiara, run, or this woman will destroy you. The front door was blocked, and Poisonous Spider stood in the way. The only possible exit was the balcony upstairs. If she was jump and screamed for help, maybe the society guards would hear her. She made a split-second decision and ran towards the stair. Poison Spider laughed wickedly, picked up a cushion from the sofa, and hurled it at her. You really think you can escape? Kiara had barely taken a couple of steps when the cushions slammed into the back of her head. She trembled and fell to the ground. Her hand hit the floor, and blood started flickering down her wrist. It hurt badly, but she didn't stop. No, Kiara, she whispered to herself. You can't give up. You have to get out for your family yourself. She pushed herself back up and started running again. Poisonous spider smirked and threw another cushion, this time striking Kiara's back. She fell again, hitting her forehead on the floor. A deep cut opened and blood ran down her face. Her head was spinning, her strength was fading. She sat on the ground, completely exhausted. Poisonous Spider walked towards her slowly and said, There's no use running. No one can you save from me. Kira's face was scalded in blood. Her body trembled with fear. She began crawling backward, trying to put distance between herself and predator. What do you want? Please let me go. Poisonous Spider stopped and turned to her man. What are you two waiting for? Such a beautiful girl is lying right in front of you, and you are just watching? Hearing this, the two men licked their lips and twisted their necks, approaching Kiara with wild smiles. Seeing their Lich's face, Kiara was filled with real fear. Stop! If either you will come near to me, I will scream. Poison Spider laughed again. She walked up to Kiara, grabbed in her hair, and said, Go ahead, scream all you want. I have already knocked out the guards. Even if you tear your throat screaming, no one will come to save you. And I know Every villa in the Nipanya place is soundproof. Your voice won't leave these villa walls. Kiara's face turned so quiet. Steamless switch. If you man come any closer, I swear I will kill myself, and even if I die, my husband will find you and end you. You won't escape. Poison spider cursed again. Kill yourself. If you don't do that, these two will still violate your corpse, and I will make it look like your husband caught you cheating and killed you in a fighting of race. Then he will go to jail. I will either way. Her words were like sharp edges, heartless and brutal. Kiara was beginning to lose hope. She had threatened suicide to protect her dignity. But it felt like even death couldn't save her from this demon. Is there really someone this evil in the world? She thought, trembling. Meanwhile, outside Nipania Palace, Samar arrived at the main gate. As soon as he saw the guards laying unconscious, every muscle in the body tensed up. He rushed to inspect him. On the back of their necks, he found faint pain shaped marking. Telltale signs of poisonous spider signature attack. It was obvious, but he could recognize her style immediately. And with that realization come only one thought: Kiara. A wave of dread swept through him. Oh no, Kiara is in danger. His expression changed drastically. Without wasting a second, he sprinted towards villa number 13, her home. He knew it. He knew poisonous spider and returned, and Kiara was her next target. Inside the villa, Kiara had used everything in her reach: pillow, cups, decoration, to try fight off two men, throwing them with desperation. But it was no use. The man just brushed them aside and kept moving forward. One of them leered. Why are you resisting, body? Let us love you. As he reached forward to grab her, Kiara took off her high heel and smashed it into his face. It left a clear imprint on his cheek. Though it didn't injure him seriously, the man's face turned red with rage. He kicked her hard and yelled, You bitch! You dare hit me? Now you will see what I will do to you. He kicked her again. Kiara flew several feet and crashed to the ground, blood pouring her mouth, face, pale body trembling. She had no strength left. Even moving was impossible now. But just then, boom! A thunderous sound echoed as the main door was kicked open the brute force. Everyone turned toward the entrance, and there he was, Samar standing in with fire in his eyes. When he saw Kiara's laying in the pool of blood, something in him snapped. Because when the Shadow King is enraged, corpses fall for miles. In the blink of an eye, Samar was at Kiara's side. His eyes were full of grief and fury. He gently crossed her cheek and whispered, Honey, are you okay? Poisonous spider had come to kill him, but he had attacked Kiara to get revenge. She had nothing to do with their body feud. Yet she suffered simply for being his wife. Seeing him, Kiara's eyes sparkled with hope. She tried to speak. I. But before she could finish, her head slammed. She had fainted. The trauma, the faint, the pain, the injury, and the relief of seeing Summer, it was too much for her heart to bear. When Summer saw the blood on her forehead, her face turned cold and terrifying. He shouted, Poisonous spider! No one can save you now. Poisonous spider face twisted in panic. Oh no, Shadow King is here. We have to run. She turned and ran forward the main door, crushing herself. She had wasted too much time torturing Kiara. She had hoped to kill her before Summer returned, but now it was too late. She bolted out the villa and vanished into the night. But her men didn't make it. Summer snapped both their necks before they could even move. Then, without a second glance, he lifted Kiara gently and placed her on the sofa. Looking in the direction poisonous spider had fled, and he said coldly, "You think you can escape me? Tonight you will die." With that, he shot out the horse like a storm, chasing her into the darkness. Meanwhile, poisonous spider was running towards the Saraswati river, where she had left a boat ready to escape. If she could reach it, she might get away. The river shimmered ahead, and a wicked smile crept into on her face. She was almost there, but suddenly a shadow appeared in front of her. She stopped dead in her tracks. Her eyes lifted, her face tall. It was him, Shadow King. What will happen in the next episode? Seen in tomorrow's episode. Friends, if you enjoy the story, please like the story, share the story, and also comment in the comment section. Hello, friends, welcome to our channel Sukun FM English. We have here to listen Secret Son-in-Law Shadow King story, episode number 29. If you enjoy the story, please share, like, and comment on the story. Let's start the story. The poisonous spider ran towards the Saraswati river. She left a boat on the river. If she reached there, she could have been saved. And the Saraswati river was right in front of her, and a feeling of happiness come on the face of the poisonous spider. But then suddenly a shadow come in front of her and stopped right there on seeing it. She looked up and even her face changed instantly. The person who blocked her path was none other than Shadow King. Shadow King's speed was very fast. He caught him in just a few minutes. Fear was clearly visible on in the eyes of the poisonous spider, and his face turned black and he said in fear, "Shadow King, do you want to kill me?" Summer said in a cold voice with a serious expression, "Poisonous spider, the moment you thought about kill Kiara, your death was decided at that very moment. To tell you the truth, ever since he returned to Indore from the Shadow Grove, he had decided to kill someone because he wanted to live a peaceful life. But even if he wanted to leave all this, his enemies were not letting him go. They not only wanted to kill him, but also his wife. Summer was so angry that he was not able to calm down even after that. Knowing she cannot escape, the poisonous spider accepted defeat and stepped forward, ready to fight off to the death. Summer laughed coldly. His eyes were looking downwards as if he was looking at something. Seeing that Summer was looking down up and considering him weak, the poisonous spider became angry. He lost his temper and said, "You dare to insult me?" Saying this, she jumped forward and gave a hard kick with her right foot, making Summer's stomach. Summer laughed coldly. He also raised his right leg and kicked the poisonous spider leg with lightning speed to stop its kick. Both kicked. The poisonous spider leg was cut off with a loud noise. She screamed and fell to the ground with a scarred face. One more kick and the poisonous spider was gone. If Summer had seen a king, he would have been a little worried. But the poisonous evil spider was like an ant in front of him, which he could crush in one go. Poisonous Spider was the best sniper, but ever since Summers broke her hand, she could fire a gun. She became a toothless lioness. Summer was something with anger, remembering what the poisonous spider was going to do Kiara. This girl wanted to kill his wife so he could Summers leave her alive. He had not even touched the Kiara yet. Yet the poisonous spider men dared to touch him. They were literally looking for their death. Summer come in front of the poisonous spider, raised his right leg and stepped hard on his thigh. There was a deep sound and the poisonous spider descended into the lower part of the spider. It opened its mouth and let out a scream. The scream was very painful. Even the birds on the river bank was frightened and flew away. The poisonous spider grabbed his thigh tightly. His face was pale and his eyes were full of anger. He roared, Shadow King, you are too cruel. You actually ruined my whole body. If looks could kill, she would have killed the Shadow King with her looks alone. Summer said softly, Do you really hate me? Poisonous Spider said. Shadow King, don't be proud. Soon you will be defeated by such great tiger kings. Hearing this, Summer smiled and said, Oh, I almost forgot about this tiger king. Tell me, where is he? Don't even think about it. Even if I die, I will not tell you everything, she said, shaking her head in fear. Summer said with a smile, Okay, then go ahead. While saying this, he gave a cold smile and waved his hand, and the next moment a choke came out of the clay's tie on his base and landed in his hand. He moved like a poisonous spider. He was always fierce when it came to his enemies. No one in the shadow group could stand his attention. Finally, he got all the information he wanted. Seeing the black choke in Summer's hand, the poisonous spider face changed. He knew that this choke is called life-taking choke. Many people have died because of this choke. She did not want to die, and she did not want to suffer even 1,000. So he roared, Shadow King, if I tell you where Tiger King is, will you let me go? Summer looked at him with the same smile and said while checking the sharpness of his knife, No, if you tell me where the Tiger King is, I will not give you much pain. I will give you an easy death. The poisonous spider heard this and said disappointedly, If I am going to die anyway, then why should I tell you? Oh, don't tell, Summer said, turning serious now. Saying so, he stabbed his sharp knife into the poisonous spider's arm, ripping off a piece of its flesh. The poisonous spider let out a pitiful scream. His face turned pale and blood was flowing continuously. He did this for the first time. Then 10, then third time. When Summer was on his 20th day, the poisonous spider couldn't take any more. He cried out in pain. Shadow King, please kill me. While wiping the blood from the choke, Summer said, It is very simple. If you want to die, tell me where the Tiger King. Otherwise, I will not let you die, no matter how much you scream. Summer's face was looking very red while wiping the blood from the choke. Poisonous Spider understood that Summer was not going to take pity on her. So he said while accepting, Okay, I am telling you, Tiger King is on the Alaji Road. Sunshine is heading in the abandoned basement on real estate. The poisonous spider could not bear the terrible pain and finally told the hungry person where the Tiger King was hiding. When Summer heard the Tiger King's calling letter from her mouth, he said happily, Now you can die. Saying this, Summer extended his knife towards her, and when he was about to kill the poisonous spider, he heard a crackling sound. Maharaj Shadow King, please stop. A voice come and then two young men dressed in black come out of darkness. The two young men were a boy and a girl. Here the boy was very handsome, while the girl was also no less than an angel. The voice Summer had heard was that of this girl. She was around 20 to 21 years old and had an attractive face. Her body was slim and her skin was very strong. Summer frowned a little and asked in cold voice, "Why you stop me?" He was sure that he had never met this beautiful girl, but now did she know him. Frankly speaking, that girl was very beautiful. Her face was bright, her eyes were pointed, her skin was milky white, and her thighs were green. She was like a leopard. She was lean and did not have any ounce of fat on her body. It was evident that she was a tall girl. This was the result of working out of and time. The pretty girl smiled slightly and replied, "Wait, Shadow King, let me introduce myself. My name is Nisha. I am from the Dragon Group. We have never met before. I just show the picture, yours." Dragon Group? Summer furrowed his eyebrows in surprise. He naturally knew about the Dragon Group. It was a special forces team of India, one of the special department. Every member of the Dragon Group was a powerful entity. When Summer was in the group, he once encountered members of the Dragon Group. This was the first time he saw a member kill a tiger with a single punch. He was similar to the heroes mentioned in the stories. What will happen in the next? Stay tuned. If you enjoy the story, please like the story, share the story, and also comment on the story. Hello, friends, how are you? Welcome to our story, Secret Son in Law, Shadow King, and welcome to our channel, Sukun FM English. If you enjoy the story, please like the story and share the story, and comment in the comment section also. Okay, let's begin the story. Yesterday, we see Samar met two people of Dragon Group when he catch the poisonous spider woman. When Samar was in the Shadow Group, he once encountered members of the Dragon Group. This was the first time he saw a member kill a tiger with a single punch. He was similar to the heroes mentioned in the story. Their main job was to defend the country, protect the governments, and stop the attacks of the foreign enemies. The captains of the Dragon Group was the Dragon King. He was the king of the Dragon Group, the most powerful person in the group. Of course, the Dragon King was also a simplest of the seven kings. No one had ever seen him in action. It was said that whoever saw him died, but there were 10 members in the Dragon Group. Summer knew all the 10 members, but he did not know Nisa. I recognized it. Clearly, Nisa was not a main member of the Dragon Group. She can only be considered as an external backup member. The Dragon Group had become backup members in every city. This Might girl was currently an external backup member from Indore. Summer furrowed his eyebrows and said coldly, "Nisha, I have to kill the poisonous spider." Poisonous spider tries to kill his wife. Summer had already sentenced him to death. Even though the dragon group tries to stop him, he still had to kill her. The handsome boy extending next to Nisha frowned and said coldly, "Shadow King, even though you are the king of the Shadow Group, this is India. You cannot kill anyone here at will." The Dragon Group was the most powerful in India. They worked directly under the president, even if the PM and CM of the army commander was in front of them. They too had to talk to them with respect. But now, when Shadow King was him, he not only looked angry, but he also looked scared. He did not care at all. Seeing Samar carefree nature, he became arrogant and proud. The man became very dissatisfied. Summer looked at the handsome young man sadly and said, "Who are you?" I know." That handsome boy replied to Samar question and said, "My name is Rajat. I am the deputy head of the Indore team of Dragon Group. I order you to kill poisonous spider, give it us to. She work for the Tiger King. We need to know her personally. We will have to investigate." Ranjit had a sad face and was speaking as if he giving orders to your subordinates. Summer smiled coldly. His eyes were as cold as be. He said angrily, said, "Who are you to give my orders? Not even your boss, the Dragon King. You don't have the courage to talk to me like this." Rajit told Shadow King, "This is India, not Shadow Group. Here in India, Dragon Group, there's saying that says, if you are a lion, you must bow. If you are a dragon, you must string." He is not responding Shadow King at all. Yes, Shadow King was the king of the Shadow Group and was considered the most powerful man on earth. But all these were under world's legends. Being a member of the Dragon Group, I did not believe this in mind. According to him, these were strange stories. There were seven kings of the seven group all over the world. Each one wanted to become the most powerful person in the world. Then why should the Shadow King be number one in the world? Rajat was not ready to escape this. In this view, his leader, the Dragon King, should be number one. So when he saw the Shadow King, he started to harass him. In other words, he wanted to drag the Shadow King down, but Rajat had taken on the wrong person. Who was the Shadow King? He was Samar. The king's dignity was not to be ignored. It could be provoked. Those who instigated the violence should have been prepared to face on consequences. Samar, I looked into Rajat's eyes, smiled slightly and asked, "What will happen if don't release the poisonous spider?" Rajat replied very bluntly and curtly, "Shadow King, if you don't let go of the poisonous spider, I will arrest you." Samar also said with fear, "Oh, really? Then I will kill the poisonous spider right now. I want to see whether you are faster or my dagger is sharper." Saying this, he said coldly. Smiling, he attacked the poisonous spider neck with his dagger. Rajat's expressions changed. He shouted, "Shadow King, how dare you!" and quickly ran towards the poisonous spider to save it. He was asked by senior officers about capturing the poisonous spider alive and locating the Tiger King. Orders to investigate it were received. Now, when Shadow King wanted to kill poisonous spider, Rajat naturally had to intervene to save him, but Samar's dagger was like a lightning bolt. The poisonous spider went right across the spider neck with speed and snatched the throne from its neck. The water flowed away. The poisonous spider grabbed his throat. His eyes were filled with reluctance. He taking his last breath. He staggered and fell on the ground. Ranjit was shocked. He hissed, "How fast is it?" Shadow King's speed was very fast. He had just started running where Samar put his dagger on the throat of the poisonous spider. How did not have time to react? But when he realized that Shadow King had killed poisonous spider and he would not be able to complete his job, his heart was filled with anger. Rajat angrily stared at Samar and said, "Shadow King, how can you dare to disobey the orders of the dragon group?" Samar did not look at him. He was carrying the poisonous spider dead body. He knew that he could not leave the poisonous spider body theirs because if someone found out about it, it would be problem. Summer threw the corpses of the poisonous spider into the river. The river water immediately covered its body, and the fish in the water started eating it. The body was destroyed, and the fish were also killed. Shadow King was a real thing. Nisha's expressions changed a little. She was shocked. When Rajat saw the Summers completely ignored him, his face turned red with anger. He shouted, Shadow King, how dare you disobey my orders? Rajat shouted angrily and punched Summer on her head. He wanted to teach this arrogant man a lesson. Seeing this, Rajat was attacking him. Summer's face also turned angry. He also said while shouting, Oh, you want to kill me? Saying this, he quickly raised his right hand and caught Rajat's punch. He pulled him and threw him right on his head. I didn't it front. Summer left hand turned into a paw and he moved forward with lightning speed. They grabbed Ranjit's neck. Ranjit's face turned red and he was having difficult breathing. Rajat was stunned. He thought to himself, he was strong. The power of Shadow King, it was beyond his imagination. He had never faced such a powerful person. Perhaps only their head Dragon King could defeat him. Summer said to Rajat with a cold smile, Did you know one thing? I will tell you. I am going to die. A huge ragging strings on fire was coming out of the whole body. He was out of hell. He come like the god of death. Ever since he showed that Kiara was injured, a demon had occurred inside him. He thought that he would kill whoever come in the way. When the Summer Shadow King was stunned, he saw that the demon was not there. Had that happened, thousands of bodies would have been slaughtered. A furious Shadow King is trying to fill this world with blood. I would have covered it. Nisha's expressions changed and she quickly said, Shadow King, no, no, please leave Rajat alone. She was afraid that if she delayed even a little, the Shadow King would kill Rajat. One should know that Rajat's identity was not so simple. He could not be killed so easily, otherwise, it would have been very painful. Summer looked at Nisha and said in a cold voice, I need not find any reason to let her go alive. Tell me. There was no emotion in his voice. At that moment, the killing and the darkness inside his body were completely released. The shadow kill thirst for food returned. Nisha immediately folded her hands and said, Shadow King, I made a mistake. I apologize to you. Summer said angrily, There is no use in asking for forgiveness now. Nisha tried to explain to Summer, saying, Shadow King, India is a modern society. It is illegal to kill anyone like this here. Summer closed his eyes and his eyes became cold, he said while staring. So what are you? Would you dare to threaten me? Her cold eyes were piercing. Seeing his deadly eyes sent a shiver down Nissa's spine, she had no doubt that if her answers did not satisfy Summer, there would be no saving Rajat. She could not be let Rajat die, and so she was also going to punish the Shadow King. I couldn't do it. Nisha's mind was stirring and she tried to think a solution. And after thinking a little, she said softly, I will not dare. I want to call Maharaj Shadow King. How can I dare to threaten you? The police will trouble you because you, the poisonous spider, have killed. Talk to the police and ask them not to investigate further. I can ask you to do it. Nisha's face turned pale, but when She was that her words on Shadow King were not true. She realized that the truth was in the eyes of the audience. The fact is still there. So he cautiously continued talking. King Shadow King, if you let Rajat go, we can help you in a lot of Indore. For example, so we can give security to your wife Kiara. In order to let Rajat go through Shadow King, Nisa also promised to bring the rest of the dragon group to the security to Kiara. Apparently, the group dragon is a special. There was a departmental officers who was only responsible for the safety of the higher officers. Nisha will undoubtedly protect Kiara like a police officer. There was a very high level privilege. Samar smiled coldly and said, "Okay, I am leaving her this time, but not next time." Saying this, he waved his right hand and pushed Rajat about 7 to 8 meters away. He fell down on the ground with a loud bang. He looked at Rajat and he felt very dizzy. They started coming. When the left Rajat, he thought our thinking, everything. First of all, this was India and there was police. There was no law and the government still had a lot of power. There was strength. 10th class. He had no enemy with the drug group. Once when he met Rajat, if he had killed him, the dragon group would also have become his enemy and this time was completely unnecessary. The third thing, the most important thing, was that he could not follow the work every moment of the day. After all, the dragon group had an official background and there was very he was a warrior. If he was protecting Kiara, it would make his job easier. Thinking about the three reasons given above, he finally let Rajat go. Nisha's face was pale white. She asked in a calm voice, "Thank you, Shadow King. Please, if you know, can you tell me where Tiger King is?" Tiger King was the enemy of the Dragon Group. A year when the Dragon Group entered the Tiger Group area, I was on missions when I mistake attacked by the Tiger King. The Tiger King attacked the dragon. The group vice captain has broken his leg and could not walk only with a help of stick. I could have the dragon group had to take revenge for this enemy. Earlier, when Tiger King was in the area, even when I was hiding, they had tried several times to kill him, but they were unsuccessful. Now, when Tiger King had come to India, they naturally got rid of him. He wanted to get money and wanted to exchange his voice cap. The Dragon Group was India's strongest team. In some aspects, there were India's used to represent the descendants. Anyone who tries to endanger the prestige of India, I have to courage to say that no matter how far away were, they would have been killed. Tiger King was also on the list of the Dragon Group's wounded list. Summer kept the check on the door and replied to Nisha's question softly. Poison Spider told that Tiger King is on LIG Road, Sunshine Real Estate. He is hidden in abandoned basement. Nisha rolled her eyes and asked, "Shadow King, Tiger King is trying to kill you. Won't you take revenge on him?" Summer smiled at her and said, "That Nisha, along with being beautiful, be smart too. You like using me to provoke and kill Tiger King me." Nisha immediately bowed her head and said, "I am ready to use Shadow King, sir. How can I muster the courage?" "I will definitely kill Tiger King, but not now," said Summer, shaking his head. Nisha tries another time to continue her conversation by saying, "Shadow King, as you already know, He is now in the basement of Sunshine Real Estate. Still, you are leaving him. Are you scared of something? Summer smiled slightly and said, Nisha, reverse psychology really worked on me. No, all I can tell you if Tiger King really exists in the basement, if I was there, he would have gone far away by now. Saying this, he turned and he walked towards the Nipania palace, and in no time he disappeared into the darkness. He wanted to kill the Tiger King, but the Tiger King was not only powerful, but he was also very clever. When he sent the poisonous spider to kill Kiara, that must be why he changed his location. Seeing Samar disappear into the shadow, Raz's face turned pale and he came to Nisha and asked, Leader, what should we do now? There were more than 30 members of the dragon group in the door. Nisha was the leader, while Rajat was the associate leader. Nisha waved her hand and said politely, Gather your people immediately. We have to go to the basement of Sunshine Real Estate. I don't think Tiger King is really here. He must have run away from there. Rajat immediately replied, Yes, leader. Then he immediately took out of his phone and he started contacting his group member to catch the Tiger King. Samar ran madly from the river bank. He returned to Nipania Palace number 13 inside the Nipania Palace. Kiara's face had turned pale and she was still laying on the sofa in hall. Samar took rubbing alcohol goes medicines. He first cleaned the blood from the Kiara's face, then cleaned it with the rubbing alcohol. Then he applied medicines and finally wrapped it in gaze. Samar's heart was breaking, seeing that the girls who looked like mummy. He knew that the girl's Lawson's got nose injured because of him. Then suddenly, Kiara screamed loudly, Oh, please don't come near me. Don't come near me. She was trembling with fear. While she was unconscious, she had a bad dreams. A falling was self-pity and regret flashed in Summer's eyes, and he hugged Kiara tightly and said softly, Honey, don't be afraid, it's me. Kiara was very proud before, but now she was terrified. She said softly, Oh dear, it's really is you. I thought I would never see you again. Saying this, she opened her eyes and saw that it was Summer who was beside her, and she immediately started crying as soon as she was Summer. He was Summer. Ever since he saw the poisonous spider, she felt scared, frightened, and helpless. Even though Kiara was the queen of the business world and was very smart in business, she was scared of the fact that she was not able to do anything, but she was, after all, an ordinary girl. When she encountered the poisonous spider like the kill machine, she was obviously weak. That it is why she was so scared. If Summer had not come on time, she would come committed suicide. Summer held the girl and said with determination, Honey, I am sorry, I promise I will not let you hurt me anymore. He was Shadow King. He had never apologized to anyone. This was first time he said sorry to someone, and that to to his own son. He knew that the poisonous spider had come to kill Kiara because of him. He who had put the girl in such trouble. Kiara's face turned a little red with shame. It was the first time a boy had taken in her arms. She thought to herself, Kiara, this is your first hug, and you are not going to take it seriously. I am using it in this way. But summer was bringing a lot of happiness in my arms. It seemed as if she had returned back to her arms. Gurgling sounds come from Kiara's stomach. It was currently hungry, which made her feel strange. Hearing the sound of Kiara's stomach, Summer come to know that Kiara was hungry. He separated the girl from herself and said, Honey, you take rest. I will take rest for you. I will make a snack and bring it. He carefully put the child to bed and turned to go back. He went to the kitchen and saw that the child was not there. He opened the fridge, which was not also completely empty, which made him very angry. Kiara was injured and needed energy right now, but there was no food in the kitchen. Because there was no snakes, naturally it was could not become a snake beside now it was 12th of night. All the shops were closed. He could not even go to buy food. He said to himself, Whoever it is, I have to become a superpower to do it. Why don't we have to ask the neighbors for some loan? Saying this, Samar walked out of the pavilion, closed the door, and started walking towards pavilion number 14. After 3 minutes, I reached villa number 14, although it was already 12th midnight, but it was still at home. The lights were still burning. Apparently, the people living there had not yet gone to sleep. Knocked on the door 3 times. Soon a hot girl in light makeup and nightgown come out. The girl's face was very attractive. Her lips were slightly raised, her teeth were shining, and her long eyelashes were fluttering like two windows. It was very attractive. It forced people to stare at him. Her body was slim, full, and beautiful, and she looked charming when she smiled. At this time, she was wearing only a thin, backless nightgown, which made her look extremely attractive and hot. Who is she? What will we do Samar next? See in tomorrow's episode. If you enjoy the story, please friends like the story, share the story and comment also on the story.